Lewis Hamilton has officially become a Ferrari driver. This monumental shift marks the end of an era and the beginning of an exciting new chapter in the career of one of the sport's greatest drivers. But how did this shocking move come about? And what led Hamilton to make what he describes as the hardest decision of his career? The seeds of this dramatic change were planted in February 2024, when Hamilton announced he would be leaving Mercedes at the end of the 2024 season. This news came as a surprise to many, especially considering Hamilton had signed a 2-year deal with Mercedes just months earlier in the summer of 2023. To make the move possible, Hamilton triggered a break clause in his contract, as reported by Racing News 365. In an interview with F1.com, Hamilton shed light on his decision-making process. "An opportunity came up in the new year, and I decided to take it," he explained. But this wasn't a choice made lightly. Hamilton emphasized the difficulty of leaving Mercedes, a team that had supported him for 26 years, dating back to his early racing days. Hamilton said, "We've created history within the sport, and it's something I take a lot of pride in." This long-standing relationship made his decision to leave all the more significant. But the allure of Ferrari, with its rich history and iconic status in Formula One, proved irresistible. Hamilton drew a connection to his childhood hero, Michael Schumacher, explaining the dream that many drivers share. He said, "You see the driver in the red cockpit, and you wonder what it would be like to be surrounded by the red." On Thursday, Lewis Hamilton took to LinkedIn to share his first public statement as a Ferrari driver. Hamilton wrote, "I could not be more excited for the year ahead. Moving to Scuderia Ferrari, there's a lot to reflect on. To anyone considering their next move in 2025, embrace the change. Whether you're switching industries, learning a new skill, or even just taking on new challenges, remember that reinvention is powerful." Hamilton's call for reinvention isn't just about his own career, it's a message that resonates with people in all walks of life. By encouraging others to embrace the change and reminding them that your next opportunity is always within reach. While Hamilton's LinkedIn post was certainly impactful, his social media updates on other platforms have added another layer of intrigue to this story. On Instagram, Hamilton changed his profile picture to a childhood photo of himself wearing a red helmet while karting. For those unfamiliar with the history, the color red has been synonymous with Ferrari for decades. By choosing this particular image, Hamilton is not only acknowledging his new team, but also hinting at a long-held dream coming to fruition. Interestingly, the use of a childhood photo suggests that joining Ferrari may have been an aspiration Hamilton has held since his earliest days in racing. But what does this mean for Hamilton's relationship with his previous team, Mercedes? And how will this affect his legacy in the sport? To fully appreciate the magnitude of Hamilton's move to Ferrari, we need to understand what he's leaving behind. His 12-year partnership with Mercedes has been one of the most successful driver-team combinations in the history of Formula One. During his time with the Silver Arrows, Hamilton secured 6 of his 7 world championships, dominating the sport for much of the past decade. One of the most important aspects of Hamilton's move to Ferrari is his new partnership with Charles Leclerc. The young Monegasque driver has already established himself as one of the most talented drivers of his generation, and now he'll be teaming up with one of the greatest of all time. Leclerc himself has expressed excitement about the prospect of working with Hamilton. He stated, "When a champion like Lewis gets to any team, it brings a lot of motivation out of every single person. He will come along with all the experience that he's had over the years with Mercedes, a different way of working, a different vision, and this is always benefiting a team." Now that Hamilton's move to Ferrari is official, attention turns to his preparations for the 2025 season. While the first race is still months away, there's a lot of work to be done before Hamilton can make his debut in the famous red car. One of the first steps in this process will likely be a private test with Ferrari. Under the testing of previous cars regulations, teams are allowed to use cars from the previous 3 seasons for testing purposes. This means Hamilton could potentially get his first taste of a Ferrari F1 car in the coming weeks, albeit not the 2025 model he'll be racing next season. Following this, Hamilton's first public appearance as a Ferrari driver is expected to come at the F175 Live season launch event in London on February 18th. This event, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Formula One World Championship, will see all 10 teams present their drivers and liveries for the upcoming season. Just one day later, on February 19th, Ferrari plans to unveil its 2025 car at its headquarters in Maranello. This will be a pivotal moment for Hamilton and the team, as it will be the first time they present themselves as a unit to the world. The final step in Hamilton's preparation will be pre-season testing in Bahrain from February 26 to 28th. During these 3 days, Hamilton will have his first opportunity to drive the 2025 Ferrari in anger, sharing the car with his new teammate Charles Leclerc. It's worth noting that Hamilton will have just 1.5 days in the new car before the first race of the season. This limited testing time presents a significant challenge, even for a driver of Hamilton's caliber. As Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur said, "If you imagine that you go to Bahrain and you have the sandstorm as we had a couple of years ago, it's tough, but it's tough for everybody on the grid. We know that we have only 3 days there. It is like it is." As Hamilton starts this new chapter with Ferrari, it's worth reflecting on his incredible career achievements to date. With 7 world championships, he's currently tied with Michael Schumacher for the most titles in Formula One history. He also holds the records for most race wins, 103 and 104 pole positions. However, Hamilton's recent seasons with Mercedes have been challenging. After narrowly missing out on the 2021 World Championship in controversial circumstances, Hamilton and Mercedes struggled to adapt to the new regulations introduced in 2022. The team's W13 car suffered from severe porpoising issues. Despite these challenges, Hamilton has shown flashes of his old brilliance. In 2024, he managed to secure wins at the British Grand Prix and in Belgium, demonstrating that he still possesses the speed and skill to compete at the highest level. Now, with his move to Ferrari, Hamilton has the opportunity to rejuvenate his career. The question on everyone's mind is, can Hamilton secure a record-breaking 8th world title with Ferrari? This prospect is undoubtedly exciting for both Hamilton and Ferrari fans. The Italian team hasn't won a driver's championship since 2007 with Kimi Raikkonen, and bringing in a driver of Hamilton's caliber demonstrates their commitment to returning to the top of the sport. As the world's Formula One fans set their keen eyes on Hamilton as he prepares for his 19th season at the wheel, Hamilton leaves his supporters with a rallying message. Here's to 2025, a year of embracing new opportunities, staying hungry, and driving forward with purpose. Let's make it one to remember. Andiamo. From Ferrari's perspective, signing Hamilton is a clear statement of intent. The team is investing heavily in its future, with team principal Fred Vasseur revealing that only 1% of the parts from last year's car will carry over to the 2025 model. Vasseur has also been quick to defend Hamilton against any doubts about his speed or motivation. Referring to Hamilton's performance in the 2024 Las Vegas Grand Prix, Vasseur said, "Have a look at the 50 laps that he did in Vegas, starting P10, finishing on the gearbox of George Russell in a Mercedes 1-2, I'm not worried at all." This vote of confidence from Vasseur, combined with Ferrari's commitment to developing a competitive car, sets the stage for what could be a thrilling 2025 season.